Alright. And I'm gonna pin myself. Alright, so we're gonna be learning this beautiful tune, Ora Lee. It's in the key of G, and it's a very sweet little old time tune. Last week we talked a lot about with Salt Spring. We did a lot of like feeling things on the backbeat with subdividing and 16th notes. Today we're still gonna try to feel stuff on the backbeat, but instead of it being like, it'll be a little bit more like, hi Waylon. So like that little impulse that you can hear when people are playing old time tunes. That's kind of more how we're gonna feel things on the backbeat rather than like shuffle chugga 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 chugga. Yeah, so I'm going to play the melody once through so you can hear it, and then we'll dive into starting to learn it. I watched Brittany Haas and Bruce Molsky's video of this many times to try to get some of their bowings ingrained in my head, and I picked up a bunch of it, but not it's hard to, they don't do the same thing every time, but I was kind of getting the feeling of how they were getting this feeling going. There's a lot of 3-note slurs, and there's a lot of these like pulses on the up and down bows. So here's what it sounds like. Very sweet. So, we're going to start with a 3-note slur that's down bow. G, E, D. And then on the up bow note, which is G, try to feel that pulse. So we're going to do that 3 times in a row. 1, 2, here we go. Second time, here we go. Last time, here we go. Okay, after that, we're gonna have 2 different 3-note slurs. The first 3-note slur is A, B, A on the A string. And then the second 3-note slur is G, E, G on the D string. I'm just going to turn my computer on Do Not Disturb so I don't keep getting notifications. So. Try that. A, B, A, G, E, G, A. 1, 2, here we go. Gonna do that 2 more times. 1, 2, here we go. Last time, here we go. So let's put that in with the first part we learned. Listen once to see how they connect. Here we go. Try it with me. We'll do it 2 times like that. 1, 2, here we go. One more time. Here we go. Good to move on? Any questions about that little pulse or anything like that? I mean, I keep going, if not. Okay. So then we have, there's like a little ornament. It's between G and F sharp, 3, 2, 3, 2, and then you kind of land on the F sharp. And this is all in an up bow. After that, this has a little old time bowing that I like to do. It's this kind of, that kind of thing. So it's just a little down up on the D note. So putting those two things together, let's try doing that together. 1, 2, here we go. So if you need the notes, G, F sharp, G, F sharp, D, E, D, E, F sharp, G. We'll do that one more time before adding it to the first part. 1, 2, here we go. Alright, so far this is what we have. Here we go. We'll do that much one more time. Here we go. After that, we have A, B, A, G, E, D. Try just A, B, A, G, E, D. Just that much. Here we go. And for the bowing, it's a 2-note slur up bow, down bow on A, 2-note slur on G and E, D. And that takes us to halfway through the A part. Okay, let's try the first half of the A. We're gonna loop it 3 times in a row, and then if anybody has questions about anything specific, we can go into it. 3 times through half of A. Here we go. Second time. Here we go. Oh, sorry. I kept going to the second half. Okay, last time through just the first half of the A part. 1, 2, here we go. Okay, are there any questions so far? If not, then we'll just keep chugging. The great news is the second half of the A is almost identical, which is how it was easy for me to just keep going. There's just a little difference in the ending. So listen to the second half of the A. Instead of going to this A note, it just resolves to the G note. So here's what the whole A section sounds like. Can we try that together? 1, 2, here we go. One more A, here we go. Alright, now we can practice that like 5 more times because I know it's pretty soon to have that super solidified, but just checking to see if there's any specific little part that you want me to go over. How's 5 times 2? Does that sound like too many times? Sounds good?
Can you go through the bowing with the up and down at the parts again? I'm getting lost on that.
Yeah. Like the bowing throughout the whole thing.
For me, it's more like in the middle. I seem to be losing it somewhere in the center of it.
That area? Oh,
yeah.
No. Okay. I'll go through the bowing one more time. Hey, Richard, thanks for joining us. So, yeah, we're going to start down bow. 3-note slur. Up bow on G with that little pulse. 3-note slur. 3-note slur. Down bow on A. And then we have G, F sharp on 1 slur up bow. And then is all separate. D, D, E. And then 3-note slur, D, E, F sharp. Down bow on G. Up bow on A. 2-note slur, A and B. Down bow on A. 2-note slur, G and E. Down bow on D. Up bow on G. 3-note slur again. Another 3-note slur. Down bow on A. And then that's all 1 bow up bow. 3 little separate bows. And then 3-note slur up bow. Oh, down bow. Well, yeah, 3-note slur, and then ends on down bow. Did that help clear it up, or should we go over a specific? That help? And the thing is that these aren't like you must do these bowings. I think there's lots of different ways to get the feel of it. And I noticed Eric asked a question in the chat, can we add pulses to the other long notes? I think in general, adding pulsing on the back end of the beat is always a good idea. Anytime you can have that chugga, 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 chugga feeling is welcomed. So you can just keep that in your mind. Try it on every long bow. And then also, if your bow does something different from me, that's also okay. The more you play this tune and get used to it, you'll find your own way of playing it. This is kind of just what I came up with. But let's play through the A part 2 or 3 more times before moving on to the B. So, starting on the down bow. 1, 2, here we go. go a little bit slower. Another time through the A. And something else that can help is, since this tune is in G, often a G drone sounds pretty nice. And then that can help too with the pulsing. That's called rock bow, when you rock between two strings. So if I were to add a G drone to this A part, you can really actually add a drone for the whole point, which we'll talk about in a second when we get to the chords. But let's try that slowly. Just whenever you're playing notes on the D string, add a G drone, and then add a D drone whenever we're playing notes on the A string. We won't go that fast. We'll go as slow as we were going before. So let's try the A part with a G and D drone. 1, 2, here we go. How do we feel about moving on to the B part? Good? Okay. Cool. I love this B part. It's very beautiful. It has a 6th chord in it, which my favorite chord. We're going to start on an A note. So the first few notes are, you're going to do separate bows on A and G. Then 2 notes are on A, B. Next part. So listen one more time. Those notes are A, G, A, B, C natural, B, A, G, B. Try that with me. 1, 2, here we go. Just that much. One more time. We'll try that once more, and you can try doing that, feeling the end of the backbeat in that B note. 1, 2, here we go. Okay, after that. This is like 3-note slur here, separate up bow on the A, and then a 2-note slur on G, E, up bow on D, down bow on E, G, up bow on the B. So that sounds like... a little bit slower. Hear it one more time before we try it. Here we go. Try it that slowly with me. 1, 2, here we go. One more time. Just that much. Okay. So to connect that to what we were doing earlier, could we try that much all together? 1, 2, here we go. Cool. After that, after the... then it goes back to B. And we have another one of these, like, which I find to be pretty old-timey. Down, up, up. And those notes are just B and A. The bowing is down, up, up. Try that with me. Down, up, here we go. After that, there's 2 C naturals. So this is getting a little bit sparse, like note by note. Hear it in context. Oh. Hold on. How was I doing that? Sorry, I don't know how I... It should be down. So how did I get up bow there? I don't know. We'll go with it. So I guess it's up bow on B. 2-note slur. B, A, B. And then C. The next chunk is, which is B, A, G, F sharp, G, A. Down bow, 2-note slur on B and A. 3-note up bow slur on G, F sharp, G, A. And then that same ending. And that's the whole B part. So let's try it. We'll play it 3 times in a row. It's okay if you don't have every note nailed down yet. We'll do it 3 times now. Catch what you can, and then we'll stop for questions. 1, 2, B part, here we go. Does anybody want me to unpack any section of the B part? Sorry about that little bowing discrepancy.
My brain is grabbing the last part with the two C's and then it goes into,
Hmm.
but the part before that, I'm getting the notes, but I don't hear the tune in my head yet. That
Yeah.
part,
Yeah.
still need a little more review of it, or maybe you could play the whole thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
the whole B part, and just listen.
Yeah, I,
Yeah.
I agree. I think I need to hear the melody a few times to lock it in.
Okay, let me play it. I'm just gonna play the B part on a loop. Let's say I'll do BB 3 times, which will be kind of 6 times total. Um, and then after that, we can try playing it together. But just try to get the sound of the B part into your ear. It's really hard to learn a tune that you don't have in your ear. It's quite challenging. So I totally understand. 1, 2, B part. Here. Is that better?
Yeah, that helped. Is the first part went in very.
Oh, oh no. I think we lost Susan. Just for a sec. I think what she was gonna say was that the first part was intuitive to pick up, and maybe the second part's a little less intuitive. Would it be helpful to go note for note again? Or just slowly through each section? Hearing the chords on the B part would help too. Well, we can go through the chords for sure, and then. Hey,
All
Susan!
right. I don't
That's
know
okay.
what happened, but my question is that B part, is it crooked or is it just my brain is crooked?
I'm pretty sure this tune is square.
Okay, so I just need a little more time to get used to it, which I can. I'll be able to play along,
Yeah.
uh, and I might even be get it more even hit it right while we're doing the lesson. But
Yeah.
okay.
Awesome. So, um, is it in 4? Yeah. So let me play the tune and I will kind of count. There are pickups. So, uh, wait, 1, 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's 1. So this is kind of a pickup. 1. So if the pulse is, sorry, it's kind of hard to count and play at the same time. This is kind of the pulse. So 1, 2, 3, 4. anyone else notice there was a beat missing or added? Yeah, I think it's square.
It is square, yes.
Cool. Well, what would be the most helpful? Should we just repeat the melody a bunch of times? Should we move on to chords and then maybe come back to the melody? That might help inform some things. What are you guys thinking?
I'm good either way, whatever you think.
Okay. All right. Why don't we go to the chords, and I'll jump back to this. We'll definitely play through the melody more within the class. But anyway, so for the chords, people kind of do different things. There's a simpler version that I'll show you now. That's the chords aren't too complicated. And then there's a version I really like, which is Brittany Haas playing it, where she adds a bunch of crazy chords in here. And so it's also kind of cool to see how someone can take a fairly simple chord structure and add cool things to it to make it sound different. So I'm going to play just a random video I found of YouTube with these people, Sheila and Jesse. And they do a pretty simple chord structure. The A part is just 1 and 5. So that's the G chord and the D chord. And then in the B part, it starts on 1, but quickly goes to the 6 chord. And then goes to the 4, the 5, and then the 1. So I will, well, quickly let's talk about how to play those shapes. So for a 1 chord, the G, you can just do open G and open D. Or just G, if you prefer to play just the root. For the D chord, the 5, you can put first finger on A, or first finger on the G string, which is an A note, and open D. So that's 1 and 5. The 4 chord is going to be a C chord. So you can either do just a C note, third finger on G, with first finger on D for a C chord. And then for the 6, it's basically this shape except the C becomes a B. And it goes from 6 to 4 in the B part. So you'll go from 6 to 4. So it's I'll say the chords but those are all the shapes. All right, here is Ora Lee with the chords, starting on 1. 5, 1, 1, 5, 1, that slower? Were people able to kind of hear the chord progression there? Or should I do maybe the music should be quieter?
Yeah, so it sounded like in the A part there was a lot of chord changes on the ands. That's probably why it feels crooked.
Hmm.
And then on the B part it switched back to changing on like the beats.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There's
Yeah.
some anticipating happening.
Yep.
Definitely a lot of anticipations in the melody. And that could also make it harder to hear pulse. Cool. So those chords are not too complicated and pretty, like they make sense with the melody. Oh. I just want to show you really quick. Brittany, she adds a 2 chord in the A part and a quick 4 between the 5. So it's like 5, 4, 5. And then in her B part, it starts on a 3 chord. And it's crazy. Like, it's really cool. It kind of elevates the tune, in my opinion. So I just kind of want to show you how chord substitutions can just change the energy of a tune. They also have a really cool intro that I like a lot. So here's Brittany's version. And again, the chord progression is going to be from 1 to 2, 5, 4, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1. And so if you want to try playing along, the 2 chord is an A chord. You can just play A, or you can play a blocked 5th between A and E. And then the 3 chord is going to be the next note up, B, with the F sharp. If you want to do another blocked 5th, or you could just play B. I guess you could also do B and D. But I like the sound of the B and F sharp. So again, I'll play this, and I'm just gonna hold up finger numbers. Might mess this one up a little bit, but I just want to show you how she changes it, makes it very cool. One, 2, 5, 4, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 4, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, then 3, 6, 6, 4, 5, 5, 1, 3, 6, 6, 6, 4, 5. Sorry. 1, 2. Sorry. 1, 2, 5, 1, 1, 2, 5, 4, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 3, 6, 6, 4, 5, 5, 1, 3, 6, 6, 4, 5, 5, 1. So I did mess up that just a little bit, but you get the idea how, putting a 3 that then goes to the 6 chord, that's such a cool sound. And also putting a 2 in the A part, 1, 1, 2, and then going from 5, or 5, 4, 5. So it's very creative the way you can substitute chords and things like that. But again, you can play this with much more simple chords, much more simpler chords than that. So after hearing the chords, maybe we should try going back to the melody. And let's just play it through a few more times. We'll play through the whole time slowly about 3 times. and then we'll check in to see how everyone's feeling. We can always go over the chords again, over any part of the melody you'd like to again before jumping to a harmony. Okay, Ora Lee. We'll do 1, 2, here we go. How's it going? Any
Great.
Good?
I got
you got it? Yay.
That's
Awesome. Cool. If there's no questions, we'll move on to a harmony part. And now this is also helping me. I'm always going to go back to playing the melody a few times after teaching the chords, because I think that also helps inform the harmony that we're about to hear. So again, the way I picked out this harmony was kind of just moving in motion with the melody. And Eric, I think you'll like this one a lot because it's a higher harmony as opposed to last week. It was a lower harmony. So I'm going to play the harmony along with the melody, like on a recording, so that you can kind of hear it in context. I'll just play it with the Sheila and Jesse people, and then we'll go through it slowly. So just to get it in your ear a little bit, here's the harmony. Alright, so that was very fast. I'm not going to teach it to you that fast. But just so you can hear it, here's the harmony. I'm going to do it once through at the tempo that I'll be teaching it, so that you can hear the whole thing at a slower tempo. Here we go. I'm just going to let Waylon back in. Alright, so this harmony starts on a B note. And we're going to do our best to follow the bowings that we did in the A section. But again, it's more about feeling the pulse rather than doing exactly a down bow or exactly an up bow. Like if you watch that video that I had sent out of Brittany and Bruce, like they're not always doing the same thing with their bows, but their feel and their groove is the same, and that's more important than like where your bow is going. So B, A, G, B, A, G, B. Those are the first four notes. And then we have, starting on a C natural, two 3-note slurs, the C, D, C, B, G, B, C. So let's try that much. 1, 2, here we go. One more time. Here we go. Good. After that, we have B, A, then to an F sharp, B, A, F sharp, G, F sharp, G, A, B. Let's try that much. 1, 2, here we go. One more time. Here we go. Good, so let's tie that in with the first part of the harmony. Starting on a B note, here we go. I had forgotten how far we'd gone. One more time, just that much. 1, 2, here we go. After that, we have, so C, D, C, B, A, G. Let's try that. 1, 2, here we go. Just that much. One more time. Okay, let's add that a little bit. That's kind of halfway through the A part we're at now. 1, 2, half of A, here we go. That was the whole A part. Sorry. but you know that the whole A part is, it's kind of twice through the same thing over and over. So anyway, half of A. We're only going to do half of A. 1, 2, here we go. That's the landing point. We'll do it one more time and then I'll stop for questions. 1, 2, here we go. All right. Any questions on that? It's essentially the same thing twice in a row. So if not, then we're going to just keep going. Second half of A, again, same thing. So instead of ending on the G, we're going to end on the B. Cool. Let's try the whole A part harmony together. 1, 2, here we go. All right. Are we ready for the B part harmony? Yep. Okay. So, starts on a C natural. C, B, C, D, D, C, B, D. 1, 2, here we go. Just that much. One more time. Just that much. One more time. After that, we have D, E, D, C, B, A, G, A, B. Yeah. So let's tie that all together. Start of the B section harmony on C natural. 1, 2, here we go. One more time. Here we go. After that, we're going to go to a D note. D, D, C, D, E, E, all together. Here we go. One more time. Here we go. So let's tie that in. From the start of the B part, C natural. 1, 2, here we go. So yeah, we're at that little halfway point. Let's do that 2 more times. 1, 2, here we go. One more time. 1, 2, here we go. After that, we have D, C, B, A, B, C. Let's try that much. 1, 2, here we go. One more time. Here we go. And then after that is that same ending. B, A, F, F, G, F, G, A, B. Let's add that. 1 starting on a B note. Here we go. Just that much. One more time. Okay, so let's try the whole B part harmony. Again, I know that was kind of throwing it all at you at once, so let's just play it through 3 times, and then we can stop for questions, see if anybody wants to go over a specific section. Okay, starting on a C natural. 1, 2, here we go. One more time. Here we go. Oh, sorry. I went to the A part. That's my bad. B part. That's where we're starting. C natural. 1, 2, here we go. Okay. Does anybody want me to do a specific section of either? We're going to play the whole harmony through like 3 times now. So it's no problem if you don't have every note nailed at all. But if there's anything specific that you have a question about, I can definitely answer that. So, no? Cool. All right, let's try the whole harmony starting on a B. 1, 2, here we go. How'd it go? Good? Good. Okay, cool. So, Now what we're going to do is I'm going to play that recording. Maybe we'll do it twice because it's kind of short. It's only 2 minutes. But I'm going to slow it down also. I'm probably going to slow it to about 80%. And what I'd like to try is same thing we usually do. I think this recording is like 3 times through. We're going to play, you can play whatever you want. You can play the melody, you can play the chords, you can play the harmony part, just to kind of review everything we covered. I'm going to probably do it melody and then chords and then harmony. And if the recording only lasts 3 times through, we'll probably do it twice just for more practice. So let's see. You should try whatever you feel like trying, but if you want to know what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the melody. So let's see what 75% speed sounds like. We'll try there. That's about 70%. All right. We're going to start with the melody. Starts on a G note, in case you forgot. Alright. Do we want to try that slower? Was that still quick? Alright, that was alright. Should we do it one more time or are we feeling good? One more time? Let's do it. Alright. Let's make sure this is still... Yep. Okay. So yeah. Here we go. That's that tempo. Alright. Huh. That's weird. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, yep, that's everything that I wanted to cover. Melody, chords, and harmony. I'm going to end the recording here, but I'm going to stop the recording. Would love to say hi